It's my baby, it's my love. Touching you slowly, love how you hold me. I was a player, that was the old me. I sent to pay ya for something holy. Got naked and showed me, girl, summer's been lonely, yeah. At first, I was hesitant, like a skeleton. You 20, but intelligent. Now all the mother bitches so relevant, oh yeah. 10 lines and some memories. Guess someone got the best of me. Chef B with the recipe. Yeah, but with you it's a better me. I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is I fucking love you. I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is I fucking love you. Oh yeah. Love you through the better days, love you through the rainy ones. Champion, you number one. Yeah, that's true. But I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is I fucking love you. Oh yeah. Yes I do. Chillin' top floor with a penthouse view. But that don't mean a thing unless I'm next to you. Cause money just money, let's just spend it on you. Next to me, when I'm with you, you bring out the best in me. God made you a twin, but you the one I see. But shout out to Alicia, that's my baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if I wrote you a love song, would you sing it? If I need a bail out of jail, would you bring it? If I win, then we're up. If we fail, then we ring it. I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is I fucking love you. I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is I fucking love you. I do. Love you through the better days, love you through the rainy ones. Champion, you number one. Yeah, that's true. But I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is I fucking love you. Oh yeah. That's my baby, yeah. My baby, my baby, yeah. That's my baby, yeah. My baby, my baby, yeah.
Alright, so apparently there is a new patch, 7.27. I'm just gonna quickly go through the patch notes and see what changes have been made so far. I'll quickly just scroll through the whole list. Damn, they've made a lot of item changes. Holy shit. Okay. It seems like for the most part that it's only item changes. Yeah, okay, it is only item changes. Got it. Alright, so general changes. Hero kills base XP increased from 40 to 100. Okay, so that means now you receive more experience for killing heroes, which I guess is a good thing. Because in the last couple of patches, they removed the gold incentivization for killing heroes. Hero kill last hit gold increased from 99 plus 7.2 per level to 120 plus 8 per level. Okay, so they're trying to revert some of the changes that they made in the previous patches. They're just trying to incentivize killing heroes a lot more, which makes sense. Assist gold rescale from 45 plus 0.033 into the net worth to 30 plus 0.038 into net worth. So I guess the assists have less, you basically receive less gold in the earlier levels for assists, and you will receive a lot more as you go on, provided that your net worth increases, obviously. Okay. passive gold income increase from 85 to 95. I guess this is good for mostly support heroes. And also to, I guess, increase the pace of the game. Because I think I don't know which patch it was. If it was 7.24. Was that when they made like the major changes to, when did they introduce like neutral items and stuff? 7.26. Okay, I guess it's 7.24 when they introduced like neutral items, and they made a lot of changes to the game, um, including like the pace of the game. Initially, Dota was a lot more slow paced and like farming focused. It still is, like depending on the game and the set of heroes that you have in a given game. But um, like they noticed that games were ending like really really quickly, like in like 15 minutes even, and so they obviously like try to slow it down by like decreasing the amount of gold received, like passive gold and also like gold for killing heroes and like creeps and everything. But I think they're just like trying to balance it out now, and they're bringing back um, a little more of the passive gold, which is good. Bounty runes are now reliable gold. Okay, I still don't know what exactly reliable gold is. Let me check. What it is. Reliable gold, Dota 2. Jump to reliable and unreliable gold. Okay. A player's gold is split into reliable gold and unreliable gold. The passive gold income of every player is considered reliable gold. Okay. Source of gold is considered unreliable gold. The difference between the two is how each one is spent. Dying only takes away gold from the unreliable gold pool. Okay. Buying items uses up the unreliable gold first before falling back to reliable gold. Right. Buyback uses reliable gold first. Hovering the mouse cursor over the gold display in HUD brings up the toolkit showing reliable and unreliable gold tokens. Okay, fine. I mean, I don't fully understand it yet, but that's fine. Tower lasted bounty from 184 tier 1 to 34 to 120, 140, 160, and 180. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because obviously the importance of the towers increases as you move from tier 1 to tier 4. And I suppose passive gold income changes and the assist and like hero kill goal that you receive, like they have to make the changes to the bounty that you get for killing these different tier 1 like tier towers. Cool. Neutral stacking support bounty increased from 35% to 40%. Wow. Oh my god. Dude, that is such a good change for support heroes. That is amazing. Um, cool. Mid lane creeps. Sorry, mid lane creep camps change from medium to small. From medium to small. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. So I'm guessing like how do I show this? I guess I have to like get into a lobby. Yeah, I'll create a lobby. Custom lobbies, create. Let's go.
All picked.
Skip ahead. So I'm guessing that this this
Prepare
camp
for battle.
is been converted to a small camp. This one and this one. So like this for the Radiant side and this for the Dire side. That's what I'm guessing. It could also be this one and this one, but I'm not entirely
I fly.
for the 1 minute um for the first minute to like for the creeps to spawn basically. Okay. Removed Prowler Camp. What is the Prowler Camp? I'm not sure what Prowler Camp is. Wait, let me check that. Let me Google this. Um, Wait, I'm just gonna.
30 seconds to battle.
What am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? Alright. Okay, Prowler Camp, Dota 2. What? Oh my god. Remove Prowler Camp. What? Okay, so Prowler
The battle begins.
are those three um like those three creeps, and there's one like really big creep that's super annoying, like especially like when you're farming as a carry player, because it basically like disables you, and like it stops you from attacking and like moving, and you can get like really low if you try to like hit these jungle camps. Holy shit. um, yeah, so like one of the abilities of these creeps is petrify. It causes the next attack to petrify the enemy, rooting them and dealing 75 damage per second, and that's for 2 seconds. So 75 into 2, that's 150 damage from the nuke. And in addition to that, um, these guys do a decent amount of damage, I believe. Attack damage. Okay, so the main creep does between 59 to 65 damage, and the other two creeps do like 33 to 38. So if you try to like calculate that, 59 plus 65 divided by 2, that's 62, plus plus okay, 33 plus 38 2 2 plus 62. So in total they do 100 damage, just like from physical attacks. But I believe, yeah, they also, okay, so there's oh my god, okay, these fucking, like this neutral camp like specifically is fucking broken, man. Or like it's very difficult to like try to kill them. So in addition to that skill named Petrify, which roots you and deals like 150 damage in total, there's also another ability called Desecrate, which stomps the ground and deals damage to nearby units, reducing their base physical armor by 50%. 50%. So you basically, this fucking creep is doing double damage to you. Okay, so I said it does around 100 damage, like all three of them together, like purely physical damage. So now with the reduced physical armor, you're basically gonna be doing like twice as much damage. So that's 200 damage just from physical attacks, from a single physical attack, plus 150. That's 349. And let's just assume that it hits you twice, right? So that's 200 plus 200. Fuck. So it basically does 550 damage in total. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. That is insane. I mean, it'll obviously do a lot more damage to you if you're not able to like kill the creeps faster, especially like the main one. So I guess I kind of like that change, to be honest. Like, I was never a big fan of the Prowler camp per se. Anyways, yeah, I just want to check what I was saying earlier about the mid lane creeps. Okay, so this is what I'm assuming they've changed. Okay, so this is a small camp, clearly. I'm just checking the dire side of it as well. Okay, this is dude, that's amazing actually. This is a really good change
Your
because
middle tower is under attack.
in some matches it's very difficult for you to like you end up like you don't always get the best matchup in every game. Oh my god, they've changed this as well, dude. This is fucking amazing. Holy shit. Yeah, sorry. So you don't necessarily get a good matchup every game, like when you're in the mid lane, and you're kind of stuck, right? Like, wait, this isn't a small camp, is it? I don't think this is. This isn't a small camp either. Okay. Level 3, level 2, level 2. That's weird. I mean, I assume that the dire equivalent would be this camp. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
On. We just get. Oh, what? They've added new items? Holy shit. Okay, wait. I'm not gonna see it now. Level 4, level 3. Okay, so I guess what they mean by small camps is you don't necessarily find like a centaur camp
Your
or
bottom
like
tower is
that
under
other one.
attack.
I forget what it's called. The one that like stomps the ground, or like a troll summoner. Got it. Damn, that's amazing. Yeah, but like when you're against like a bad matchup in the mid lane, the only option for you that's left, since you can't go to the side lanes, because that really like fucks up like the pace of the game. The only option for you is to like usually stack these camps that are next to you, or just like immediately like go jungling and like try to come back into the lane and like leech experience. Even if you can't last it, just like getting experience from mid lane is
Your middle
is
tower
good.
is under attack.
Shit. So that's a really good change actually. I'm a fan of that. Especially with the new picking phase, right? Like where you don't necessarily get to see what you're matching up against. You can kind of predict this when you're playing in captain's mode, but in all pick it's very difficult to do that. So that's a good change. All right. What else do we have? Removed Prowler Camp, adjusted the low ground tree layout near both outposts to prevent channeling from low ground without destroying trees first. Adjusted the low ground tree layout near both outposts to prevent channeling from low ground without destroying trees first. Okay. I'm assuming there was a spot from the lower ground where you could channel it without having to cut a tree.
All pick.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a hero with a decent amount of movement speed, so I don't have to waste time. Who's fast? I think Kotal is pretty fast. Right. Let's go.
Keeper of the light.
Get some
My quest
smoke.
continues.
Prepare for battle.
What's that you say? By your leave.
Okay, so it's trees in this area, if I'm not wrong. Fuck, I forgot to get tangos by the way. But
What?
tango.
30 seconds
Where
to battle.
to? I am honored.
Alright, so I'm just gonna wait till I get the gold for tangos. And then I can check it out whenever it is ready. Cool. Alright, I'll come back to that in a bit. What else?
The battle begins.
Adjusted the layout
A quest.
for the trees near
A
outpost.
quest. A questing I shall go.
Removed a tree to make an opening in the tree line to the right of the mid radiant tier 1 tower. Okay. Tier 1. Wait, I'm confused. Remove the tree to make an opening in the tree line to the right. The mid radiant tier 1 tower. Oh, so I'm guessing it's this, right? This and this. Huh. But why would they do that? I have no idea. Remove the tree. Okay. So I'm guessing it's this one. Because I feel like that was never there. But I'm not sure why they would do that, right? Because is it possible for like... Okay, I need to check that out. Just gonna kill this camp first.
Cast a bright light here.
Cool.
A milestone.
Oh. Oh, so you... Okay. So basically you can't capture an outpost. Wait,
Over
what?
here.
Why am I not able to do this?
I'll ride
Strange.
ahead.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay, fine. I see.
Now, where was I?
Your middle tower is under attack.
Allow me.
Alright. I'm gonna come back to that tree layout thing.
Call me to the honor is mine.
Yeah, I just wanna see. Okay.
Hardly a
So
challenge.
apparently they removed this tree, I think. Which is cool, I guess. But I feel like it's not the same for the dire side. Let me check it out. Just gonna push the lane so I don't get hit by the tower.
The light.
And I'm trying to like walk around. Oh,
I'm under attack. Shine on. Over here.
okay.
The light shines. By your leave.
Okay, I mean I don't fully understand it. But I guess like
A milestone.
I guess they did it because on the dire side, like it's you have two ways to like to move around, like this this tree area and like this tree area as well. Like this one, like you don't need to cut any trees to like move around.
My quest.
Whereas for this one, I mean even in this one, yeah, no, here you need to cut a tree to like move from the inside of the lane to like outside. I see. change the camp to the right of the Radiant Secret Shop from medium to hard camp. Okay.
Now, where was I?
To the right of the Radiant Secret Shop.
It is a blinding brilliance. Yes.
I see.
Where to?
Oh, so now you have ancient creeps on this side. Nice. I like that. I like that change. I don't mind it.
Tis hardly a challenge.
Okay, so now is a medium camp.
Where were we?
Cool.
A leading light.
This is a medium camp as well. Okay. What else? So they changed the map, the camp to the right of the Radiant Secret Shop from medium to a hard camp. Swap the hard camp to the right of the Radiant top tier 2 tower with the ancient camp in the primary jungle. Right. Okay. So basically the ancient camp that used to exist here has been moved to this spot, and this camp, I think, okay, so basically like this creep camp has been swapped with this creep camp. So now this is no longer an ancient camp, it's just I think a medium camp, and this camp is now an ancient camp. Cool. What else do we have? Swap the hard camp. Okay, we've done that. Reduce the size of the Radiant Safe Lane hard camp spawn box. Okay. Is it this one? Or is it this one? Safely in hard camp spawn box. Okay, so the hard camp I guess is this one, right? So I'm guessing they reduced the size bit. Okay. I'm not sure why, but okay. Interesting. Radiant Safe Lane small camp spawn box size has been increased. Dire Safe Lane small camp box size has been reduced. I don't know why that makes sense. Okay. So this is the size of the Radiant Safe Lane, right? Yeah, I think that's what it is. So this is the size of the Dire Safe Lane small camp.
Your top tower is under attack.
And this is the size of the Radiant Safe Lane small camp.
I see the light.
I feel like the Radiant Safe Lane small camp has a bigger spawn box. If I'm seeing this correctly, let me check again. Yeah, it's definitely like much bigger compared to the Dire side. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is. I guess we'll just have to find out. Okay. Outposts can no longer be stolen by the other team until they kill one of your tier 2 towers. Alright. Fuck. I mean, I was a big fan of like capturing enemy outposts even before the creeps used to spawn. But I can see how that makes more sense for the game. Just sad that I won't be able to use it as much now. Outposts now reveal enemies channeling it. This is a much needed change, I believe, especially because it was really annoying to not be able to see the enemy heroes like when they're smoked and like channeling the outposts. I feel like this is a much needed change, and I'm glad that they've finally like come to realize that that's something that the game needs. Outpost vision radius is now shown by holding out. Oh my fucking god! Finally, finally. Um, so if you don't know this already, like if you press Alt, you can always see like the area of vision for a tower or like a building per se, but you were never able to see this for the outpost. Um, so now this helps, especially because let's say the enemy has like placed a ward around the thing. You'll easily be able to see exactly where it is, if that makes sense. Okay. All lane creeps now avoid hero aggro until they are near enemy creeps. Avoid hero aggro. Neutrals are within 100 and 1550 range of their tier 1 tower. This active until siege units spawn. Oh my god, holy shit. All lane creeps now avoid hero aggro until they are near enemy creeps. Neutrals are within 1550 range of their tier 1 tower. Okay, so so this is 700 range. I'm guessing this should be like 1550 or like this much. That's what I'm guessing. This is active until the siege units spawn at 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, I obviously need to test this out. But before that, I wanna test out the what do you call it? Capturing the outpost like after killing the tier 2 tower. I mean, there's not much to know about it, but I just wanna see.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
My quest continues.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
The light
Your bottom tower is under attack.
a milestone. There's hardly a
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
So, if what I read was correct, I just took down the tier 1 tower. So that means I still won't be able to capture an outpost.
Now, where was I?
Yeah, that is correct.
What's that you say?
So I still need to take down a tier 2 tower to capture an
I'll
outpost.
ride ahead.
Cool. I think that makes sense.
A leading light.
Because I guess like the issue that the developers or like Valve noticed was that as soon as you lose, let's say, your tier 1 tower on any lane, I think especially like in the mid lane,
Allow me.
it's very easy for you to lose map control. And you, I feel like 60 or like 70% of the games will end as soon as like you lose like let's say like three uh,
This way.
three of your like tier 1 towers, and that sucks, like I don't think that's a very like balanced way
Your
to like
bottom
approach the
tower
game.
is under attack.
Anyways, just gonna finish killing this tower.
Now, where was I?
I'll just continue reading the patch notes, the other patch notes in the meantime.
A milestone.
Okay. Courier bounty reduced. Bounty reduced from 30 plus 7 per level to 25 plus 5 per level. That makes a lot of sense, man. Like, it was kind of fucking ridiculous, like how much gold you would get for killing couriers.
Allow me.
Okay. Courier flying upgrade level requirement reduced from 5 to 4. I think that's a much needed change, especially like for support heroes
A leading
who don't necessarily level up as fast as your cores,
am honor.
but at the same time, like they impact the game as much, if not more, than your cores, depending on the situation. So I'm really glad that they're trying to like incentivize this. I'm guessing this is mostly like for this change has happened mostly for like support heroes, or even like carries, for example, that are kind of like falling behind in the game. It really like helps you recover, so even if your laning phase doesn't go as well as you wanted it to, you still have a good chance of staying in the game, and like actually having a good chance of still like winning at the end. And this is true also because of the changes that they've made for the mid lane side camps. Because even if like you, let's say like your you lose against like your mid matchup, like it's still very possible for you to recover, since you still have the option of going to your side camps and gaining experience and gaining gold. Courier movement speed is reduced by 15% while carrying consumables. Ooh, interesting.
My quest continues.
Interesting. That's a cool change.
Tis hardly a challenge.
I don't know how I feel about it, but that's cool. Right, next. Next we have changes to armor. Armor formula is now armor into 0.06 divided by 1 plus armor into 0.06. Armor per agility increased slightly from 0.16 to 1 by 6. I mean, which roughly translates to 0.166666. Okay. I mean, I guess we just have to see how this impacts the game actually like playing it.
Shine on.
Right.
The light shines.
And now there's changes to the towers. Okay. Tier 1 towers attack speed increased. Attack rate from 1.0 to 0.9, and base attack speed from 100 to 110. Okay, so they attack a lot faster. This is really good against early pushing heroes like Lycan, for example. Lycan, heroes that can rush Necrobooks, Beastmaster, Enigma, etc. Tier 1 towers damage reduced from 110 to 90. Same overall DPS with above. Huh.
Where were we?
Well, never mind then. I don't know how that affects the pushing strat in that case.
Where to?
Anyways, tier 2 towers attack speed increased from 0.95 to 0.9. Base attack speed from 100 to 110. Okay. Tier 2 damage reduced from 200 to 172. Same overall DPS with the buff. I see. Siege units health increased by 60.
A leading light.
Oh, I like that. I actually like that change.
Your tower is under attack.
But I don't know. I mean, it seems like
Quarrel no longer.
it seems like
I am honored.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, I thought that this would incentivize, not incentivize, but
Bottom
rather
tower is under attack.
incentivize people to pick as many like pushing heroes. Anyways,
Your
we'll
bottom tower
we'll
is
see.
falling.
What's that you say?
The enemy
Okay, so I've taken down the tier 2 tower now, so I should be able to capture this outpost. Okay, cool.
Shine on.
One thing, because okay, so they said that your courier's movement speed should reduce by like 15% if you're carrying something. So right now it's like 410. So I'm just gonna buy a set of tangos. Oh my god, it's changed to 348. Oh my god, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know how to feel about it, but I guess this makes like a big difference in the late game when, let's say, your enemies have kind of like trapped you in your base. They've basically gained like map control and have control all of the outposts, have taken down like all of your tier 1, tier 2 and like tier 3 towers, and you're basically just like stuck in your base. But when you play heroes like, let's say, Medusa or Sniper, heroes that have really good counter push abilities, where they're just able to like stay in their base
tower has fallen.
and counter like a high ground push.
Your
It's
bottom
very hard
tower is
for
under
the enemies to
attack.
like get any of your like tier 3 towers. These heroes will still be gaining a decent amount of gold because they'll be killing all of
Your bottom tower
the
is
creeps
under
that are
attack.
pushing in. But since they don't have enough map control, the only way for them to get out is either to smoke and like send your hero, which is a very risky move. The alternate is to send your courier, which is what like most people do, right? Like that's how that's what I've seen, like at least like in a lot of pro games. So I know that I've seen like multiple games where Medusa is like stuck in her base and just is trying to avoid, like prevent the enemies from like pushing and like gaining control of their base, and they just send their courier and get a divine rapier. And with the speed burst and the ability to use your shield, it's very difficult for the enemies to kill your courier. But with this change, where you have a 15% reduction in the courier's movement speed if it's carrying an item, this should make it more. This should make it a lot easier for enemies to kill your couriers, or for you to kill in such situations. I actually quite like that change because it makes a lot of sense. Anyways. Okay, next we have, I'm just gonna drink some water quickly. Okay, next we have changes to drafting.
Your
Okay,
middle tower is
all
under
pick
attack.
drafting has been reworked. Each team now picks 2 heroes per round before they are revealed, rather than just one. The final round is a single selection. So it goes from 1-1-1-1-1 to 2-2-1. I kind of like that change, to be very honest. Um, but we'll see how it like pans out, obviously.
Your middle
All
tower
pick hero
is under
ban
attack.
count increased from 10 to 12. I mean, so okay, so the reason that I like this change in the all pick drafting is um, it's less likely for you to get countered when you pick a hero, right? Um, and although like it brings up a lot more uncertainty, I think it's still a manageable level, and like it's done in like a healthy way, you know. All right, all pick hero ban count increased from 10 to 12. Oh, interesting. All pick first 2 rounds now have 5 extra seconds for hero picking, which makes sense because you need to pick 2 heroes and not one now. um, all pick first 2 rounds now have. Sorry, I just did that. Okay, captain's mode ban has changed from 4-1-1 for the 3 ban phases to 2-3-2. I see. Yeah, that's kind of good. I never really understood why you were allowed to ban 4 heroes in the first phase itself. Um, so I like this change. Because you know that like a lot of like pro teams, they do a really the the enemies and like who they're playing against, and so they obviously know what heroes the enemies are really good at playing, and most of the time you you tend to ban the heroes that they're really good at, right? But this kind of keeps it like a little more interesting, I would say. For, so yeah, it's reduced. So it's changed from 4-1-1 to um, 2-3-2. Cool. Captain's mode duration per pick and ban reduced from 35 seconds to 30. I see. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, drafting phases like in captain's mode take a really long amount of time, I would say.
Your top tower is under attack.
And I don't think you need so much time um, to ban or pick heroes.
Your top tower is under attack.
Captain's mode first pick phase is changed from Radiant Dire, Radiant to Radiant Dire, Radiant Dire,
Your
assuming
bottom
Radiant
tower
is
is under
first
attack.
pick. Captain's mode third ban phase is changed from
Your
Dire
top tower
Radiant
is under
to
attack.
Radiant Dire. So I'm guessing it's like alternate now. Um, and it wasn't before. I haven't really played a lot
Your
of like
bottom
Captain's
tower
mode
is
games,
under attack.
so I wouldn't know. And the last one is changed to
Your
random
top
draft.
tower has fallen.
Random draft hero pool reduced from 40 to 33. Interesting. Okay, so I just wanna check one thing. So apparently
Tis hardly a challenge.
they added trees here, I think. And initially you were able to maybe like go in a certain place within this tree layout to capture the outpost without having to cut any of these trees.
The honor is mine.
Cool. That makes sense. What else do we have? Alright, next is Fountain now has a Fury swipe style attacking increases. Oh my fucking god. What? Fountain now has a Fury swipes style attacking, increasing its damage by 3 for each hit. Oh my god. Okay, so clearly they're trying to make sure that people don't like Fountain dive and Fountain farm.
Continues.
Cool. And the Fountain attacks like pretty fast. Okay, so it does 300 damage, right? Attack speed 1000, meaning it attacks every 0.15 seconds. So let's say in a single minute, okay, if it attacks, if the attack speed is 1 divided by 0.15, okay, 1 divided by 0.15, so that's around 7 attacks per second, right? 6.67 into
Your middle tower is under attack.
300. So that's 2000 damage in a span
Your
of
middle tower is
1
under
second,
attack.
right? And not only that, but 3. Now you have a multiplier, so that means you have 6. Interesting. Alright. Neutral item nearby enemy range drop restriction increased from 900 to 1200. Okay, that makes sense because I do feel like it was still relatively easy with the right heroes to steal like your enemy neutral drops. So this is a like much needed change. Neutral items will no longer drop if the nearby real hero source of kills is teleporting.
Enemy's bottom
Oh,
tower
this
has fallen.
is cool. This makes a lot of sense. Okay. Neutral items no longer drop for Meepo clones if the Meepo prime is not nearby. That's cool. Lifesteal amplification now stacks diminishingly rather than additively.
That
Got it. So let's say you have multiple lifesteal auras / items in your on your team. It basically doesn't stack as much as it used to before. HP regen amp has also been changed to a similar mechanic, so it doesn't stack the way it used to. Now it stacks diminishingly rather than additively. Cool. I think these two are like much needed changes. Oh, okay, wait, there's more. Okay, so they've done the same thing for heal amplification and spell lifesteal amplification. I think these are like really good, like much needed changes, especially with the neutral items. So which item was it? Wait, have they removed an item? Oh no, okay, no. Especially with Paladin Sword, because it gives you 16% lifesteal, but in addition to that, it amplifies the the wearer's regen, healing, and lifesteal, and spell lifesteal by 14%. So on top of like the 16%, it amps your like all of your regen and like heal and lifesteal by 14% on top of
Your
this.
top tower is under attack.
So that means if you have other items or like auras
Your
like
top tower
on your
is under
team,
attack.
it can like significantly like just increase and make it very difficult for your enemies to like come back or even like fight in team fights. So I think that's a good change. What else do we have? Okay, now we have item changes. Necro Book. Hell. Like these two are definitely like one of my favorite items like in this patch, because they're just really good at like closing the game very quickly. Okay, so Necro Books, Necronomicon, that's what it is. No longer provides Archer Aura, movement speed, attack speed of Necro units increase with the same amount as the aura provided. I see. Okay. So before it used to have an aura, which used to increase
Your middle tower is
the
under
attack
attack.
speed and movement speed of nearby units. But now they've removed
Your middle tower
just like
has
amped
fallen.
the movement speed and attack speed of just the necro units with the same amount, which makes a lot of sense and is really good for push like against push lineups. So your Lycans, your Enigmas have less incentive now to buy these kind of items. Not that they like will stop buying it completely, but it's definitely making it a lot more balanced in the game. So I'm a big fan of that, to be very honest. Okay, attack damage type changed from piercing to hero and damage amount adjusted
Your middle
such that the
tower
net
is under
effect
attack.
is minus 57% versus creeps, minus 10% versus buildings, and
Your
plus
middle tower is under
26% versus heroes. Huh. That's cool. I mean,
Your middle tower
in the
is under
previous
attack.
patch, um, as soon as you as soon as you get like a level 1 necro book, for example,
Your bottom tower is under
you could
attack.
basically just send your necro books into neutral camps and be able to farm the neutral camps
Your
like just with the
bottom tower
necro
is under
books
attack.
because they're so strong.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
So you not only would you be getting gold from your hero like in the lane hitting the enemy creeps, but you could also send your level 1 necro books into the creep camps and get like double the amount of gold that you would normally get. And I obviously like I thought it was broken, like
Your top tower
I thought it
is
was
under
pretty
attack.
broken, to be very honest, because let's say the enemy has a
Your
hero like
bottom tower
Alchemist
is under attack.
that really likes to focus on farming neutral camps from a very early stage in the game.
Your bottom tower is under
And let's say
attack.
you on your team you have let's say a Beastmaster or an Enigma that can very easily
Your bottom
get
tower is under
like a
attack.
Necronomicon. I keep like fucking up the name. Let's say you get a level 1 Necrobook
Your
on your
bottom
team.
tower is under attack.
It's very easy for you to stop the enemy team from like farming neutrals from a very early stage in the
Your
game.
bottom tower
If
is
not
under
stopping
attack.
them from farming, at least being able to farm like 30% of their neutral camps, which is kind of so I'm glad that they've made this change. So now the necro books are like less effective, almost 60% less effective against creeps, and 10% less effective against buildings. But they've obviously amped up the damage that it does against or to heroes. So it definitely doesn't incentivize people to rush necro books just to push towers or to like farm a lot easier. Mana regen reduced from 3.54 to 234. I think that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense. Last will no longer deal damage through spell immunity. What is last will? Wait. I just need to check.
Shines upon me, and
Oh, holy shit, man! What the fuck?
by your leave.
Okay, so let me just buy necro books. Okay, so you have your level 1.
Yes.
Last will, right. Deals damage to the unit that kills the. Oh, okay, fine. Got it.
Allow me.
Okay, so let me show you what I was talking about. I'm just gonna send the necro books to the neutral camps. I want to see how quickly they can kill them. In the meantime, I'll just continue reading the next item changes. Helm of Dominator no longer provides a damage and regen aura. Oh my god.
Light heart.
Okay, yeah, the necro books are so much weaker now, man. Like this set of creeps, there's no way that the necro books would have gotten this low in the previous patches. And this usually just takes like 4 seconds to finish off, and now it's probably taking like 8 to 10 seconds. Dominate now also gives the creep a buff that provides 40 plus base damage, 12 plus 12 HP regen, and plus 4 mana pool regen. Cool. I mean, that makes sense since you no longer have the aura. That makes sense. Okay, cooldown to 45. Cool, that makes sense. Recipe is now Helm of Iron Will, Crown, and a 725 gold recipe. Okay. I see. So previously was, I think, what was it? There was a ring of regen somewhere. If I can find it. Yeah. It was, I think it was a head and then something else. Or was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. And then the recipe like cost like
Your
a decent
middle
amount, I
tower
believe.
is under attack.
No, it was okay. So it was a crown, it was a headdress, and it was
Your middle
this
tower
other
has
item.
fallen.
What is it called?
The enemy's bottom tower.
Yeah, and it was a
has fallen.
broadsword, I think. That's what I think at least. I haven't bought it that many times, but anyways.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Passive bonuses are now 6 armor, 6 HP regen, and 6 alt stats.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Cool. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they made
middle
changes
tower
to
is
these
under attack.
these two items like specifically. It definitely like slows down the pace
Your
of
middle
the
tower
game
is under attack.
when your enemies pick a Lycan or a Enigma or Beastmaster.
Your middle tower is under attack.
That's cool. Okay, Vladimir's offering now requires a Mask of Death, Blades of Attack, Ring of Basilius, and a 600 gold recipe. Total cost
Your
has
middle
increased
tower
from
is under attack.
2,300 to 2,375. Cool. It no longer provides plus 3 armor aura, no longer provides plus 5 all stats. Lifesteal aura reduced from 20% to 15%, now provides 18% damage aura. Okay, that's not too bad. And they've also increased the mana regen from 1.5 to 2. Cool. Drum of Endurance now requires Crown, Sage's Mask, Windlace, and 600 gold recipe. No longer provides a 20 attack
Your
speed
top
aura.
tower is under
What?
attack.
That's fucking stupid. Now provides
Your
6
top tower is under
plus
attack.
all attributes, 1.5 mana regen, 20 movement speed bonus,
Your top tower
I mean, I
is
thought
under attack.
it gave the 20 movement speed in the last patch, right? Attack speed bonus increased
Your
from
top tower is under attack.
35 to 45. Cool. Active movements 12% to 13%. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. They removed like the passive, and now they've just increased like the active attack speed aura. Not aura, but ability rather, and the movement speed. Cool. I'm okay with those changes, I guess. Alright, buckler armor aura reduced from 2.5 to 2. I mean, it seems like they're basically like debuffing a lot of these aura items, which makes sense. Like, especially like when you're trying to defend against something like that. It's just very difficult, I guess. When you have, let's say like a Chen army and you have like a Lycan army, and you just have like all of the enemy heroes grouped up against like one of your towers or just like one of your buildings. Mechanism now requires buckler instead of chainmail. Total cost remains the same. Yeah, I mean that was how mech used to be before, right? Like you just needed a buckler instead of a chainmail. It's kind of silly that they keep like changing these things. Now provides 3+ armor. Self armor reduced from 6 to 4. Okay. So it's more of like a team item now. I mean, it anyways was, but I guess it's more so now than it was before. No longer provides +4 alt stats. Unfortunate. Now provides, okay, Guardian Greaves now provides 3+ armor. Aura no longer provides +5 alt stats. Self armor reduced from 6 to 4. So basically, like whatever changes came to the mecha, like coming over to Guardian Greaves. Since mech is obviously like a component of Guardian Greaves. Crimson Guard no longer provides +3 alt stats. I think that makes sense. Since it's basically like an armor item, right, for your team. So there's no there was no need for the item to provide any sort of stats for that matter. Cooldown reduced from 46 to 40 makes a lot of sense. I do think like it didn't make as much sense to buy this item in like previous patches. Yeah, mostly because of the cooldown, I feel. Blade Mail now has a 500 gold recipe instead of using Robe of the Magi. No longer grants 8 intelligence. So it's no longer just for intelligence heroes. Like in the previous patch, you would see Nature's Prophet and like Death Prophet and a lot of like mid intelligence heroes, or even core intelligence heroes for that matter, just rush Blade Mail because it gave that plus intelligence and damage that you get from that increased intelligence.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Armor bonus
Your bottom
increased
tower is under
from
attack.
6 to 7. Makes sense. Now has a passive component that returns
Your bottom tower
20
is
plus
under
20%
middle
of the
tower
attack
has
damage.
fallen. Your
Wait,
bottom
sorry.
tower has fallen.
The honor is mine.
Oh my god. What?
Your bottom barracks are under attack.
How are there so many creatures like this? Holy shit. Now has a passive component that returns 20 plus 20% of the attack damage. I don't understand this fully. Okay. Every time you are attacked, you return 20 damage plus 20% of the attack damage dealt to you. Oh shit. So I mean, it's basically like the centaur's ability, right? Like the passive ability where like if you hit him, like you get a certain amount of damage back, dealt back to you. So now um, you get dealt damage even if the active ability isn't turned on for the blade mail. Oh my god, I actually
The
really like this
enemy's middle
change.
barracks has
That's
fallen.
very cool. It's very very cool.
'Tis hardly a challenge.
And I guess okay, so the active um, ability has been buffed. Sorry, debuffed rather. Um, so now it does 80% return damage instead of 100%, um, which used to be the case in the previous patch. Okay, they've introduced a new item called Blitz Knuckles. Um, it's a new basic item apparently. Costs 1,000 gold and provides 35 attack speed. Huh, interesting. Oh, and they've I see. Okay. Cool. Um, and they've added it as a basic component to complete your MKB or Shadow Blade now. Monkey King Bar now requires Blitz Knuckles instead of Quarterstaff. Okay. This is the Quarterstaff, right? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Quarterstaff as an item, like by itself, is like pretty useless. Like for the amount of gold that it costs, um, I'm okay with this change, I guess. MKB damage reduced from 52 to 42. Attack speed increased from 10 to 35. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I feel like MKB is a very situational item, mostly used against heroes with some form of like physical evasion, like Phantom Assassin, or a hero that gets a butterfly for that matter. But now I feel like it makes a lot more sense to just get it, even if you don't face heroes that have some form of like physical evasion. Oblivion Staff bonus damage increased from 10 to 15. I like that change because like Oblivion Staff by itself is pretty
The
useless.
enemy's bottom tower
One of
has
its
fallen.
components is obviously a quarter staff as well, so
The
that
enemy's
makes
middle
sense.
barracks has fallen.
Orchid Malevolence, mana regen reduced from 5.5 to 4, intelligence reduced from 25 to 20, recipe cost reduced from 775 to 475. So the total cost is reduced by 400. That makes sense. I do think like a lot of heroes, especially like Queen of Pain and like Invokers and stuff, um, were a lot more incentivized to get this item because of the intelligence and the mana regions that it gives you. Um, so I'm glad they're like trying to like balance it out a little more. Shadow Amulet cost reduced from 1,400 to 1,000. No longer provides 20 attack speed. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean Shadow Amulet like by itself is a pretty useless item. Like it's very good like situationally, um, but it doesn't give you much. Um, like you can only use it like in one-off cases, right? Um, and usually if you have a Shadow Blade, um, the enemies will definitely get dust or definitely get sentries. But with like if you have a Shadow Amulet, like nobody really cares. Like as much of detection. Glimmer Cape now combines from Shadow Amulet, Cloak, and Gloves of Haste. Huh, that's cool. Did it give attack speed before? I don't think it did, right? How do I check this?
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, they used to give like patch notes, right? Like for the previous patches. Anyways, that's cool. Shadow Blade now combines from Shadow Amulet, Blitz Knuckles, and Broadsword. Attack speed increased from 30 to 35. Damage reduced from 27 to 25. That's cool. I don't mind that change, to be honest. Echo Saber Slow is now only applied by real heroes. Yeah, dude, this is a much needed change. Like on heroes like CK, like Chaos Knight, for example, is fucking
The
broken.
enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I really like rushing Echo Saber with CK. Silver Edge now requires Echo Saber instead of Ultimate Orb. Oh, this is cool, man. This is fucking cool. Now provides 40 damage, 45 attack speed, 12 strength, 10 intel, and 1.5. Oops. Okay.
My quest has been fulfilled. Time for a nap.
Blah blah blah. And keeps other benefits from components. I see. Wait, did they remove the break from Silver Edge? Active. No, it's still there. Okay, cool. Interesting. I actually really like this change to Silver Edge. I do feel like it's like the only reason you get Silver Edge is if you have a Bristleback or a Spectre, anyone with some sort of passive ability that makes them like really tanky, and the only way to counter them is to break their passive ability. But apart from that, like upgrading from a Shadow Blade to a Silver Edge was like pretty like underwhelming, I would say. Although it gives you those additional stats, you usually get Silver Edge on fighting heroes like Slark or heroes that like to do a lot of like damage per second. And upgrading to Silver Edge like doesn't really like promote that. So I think this change makes a lot of sense. Although it equally like makes it a lot scarier on your enemies now. So something to look out for, I guess. Okay, so they've changed Bracers, Wraith Bands, and now Talismans. Okay, so on Bracers, Strength, Intel, Agility reduced from 633 to 522. No longer grants magic resistance. Oh my god, what the fuck? Now grants 3 damage and 0.75 HP regen. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Alright. For Wraith Bands, the Strength, Intelligence, Agility. Okay, so I'm guessing in this case it's the agility that's reduced from 6 to 5. The intel is reduced from 3 to 2, and strength is reduced from 3 to 2 as well. They probably made a typo. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they probably made a typo with the Wraith Band and the Null Talismans. Wraith Band now grants 1.5 armor and 5 attack speed. Or didn't it give attack speed? Like 5 attack speed in any ways before? Okay. Now Talisman has also the intel is also reduced from 6 to 5, and strength and agility have also reduced from 3 to 2. Now grants 0.6 mana regen per second and plus 3% spell amp. I mean that's kind of silly, right? Like if you're providing spell amp on null talismans, why would you remove the the magic resistance that you get from bracers? Like I feel like that's very silly. Okay, moving on. Ring of Regen, health regen reduced from 1.75 to 1.5. Cost reduced from 225 to 175. Okay, I'm okay with that change, I guess. Um, Mana regen for Sage's Mask has reduced from 1 to 0.6. They keep fucking like changing Ring of Regen and Sage's Mask like continuously. Like it's fucking annoying. I do wish some of the changes that they make to the game, or the items for that matter, like would kind of stay, and they bring something else like to the game, instead of like continuously like making one change, and then like reverting the change in the next patch, and then coming back to the change and then reverting, like continuously like being in that cycle of changing and just like whatever. All right, Ring of Protection cost increased from 150 to 175. Okay. Ring of Basilius. I guess the reason they're making these changes is because they've made changes to some of the other items like bucklers and mechs and stuff like that. But it's still like annoying. Anyways, Ring of Basilius. Recipe cost increased from 200 to 250. Total price remains 425. Okay. And I'm guessing the mana regen remains the same as well, right? Okay, cool. The good thing is that they still maintain the mana regen, like the overall mana regen, for Ring of Basilius. So although it's less attractive to like buy a Sage's Mask at the beginning, or even a Ring of Regen for that matter, they're incentivizing you to like complete the recipe for a Ring of Basilius and a headdress, because it still maintains the same level of mana regen and like HP regen that it used to give in the previous patch. That's cool. Recipe cost reduced from 225 to 200 for Buckler, so it still remains the same overall cost for Buckler, even though they've increased the price of the Ring of Protection. Urn of Shadows recipe cost increased from 310 to 345. Total price remains 840. Right. So they had to increase the recipe cost because the cost of a Sage's Mask had reduced, and the Ring of Protection had increased slightly. Pipe of Insight recipe cost increased from 1200 to 1250. Total cost remains the same because one of its components is the Ring of Regen. Multiple Ring of Regen actually. Okay. Tranquil Boots. Unbroken speed reduced from 75 to 70. Total cost was reduced from 975 to 925. Broken speed reduced from 50 to 45. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I do think Tranquil Boots is a pretty like underrated item. Um, like I really like buying Tranquil Boots, like especially on roaming supports, like ES or let's say Earth Spirit, for example. Um, Unbroken speed. Okay, so they've reduced the overall speed by 5, um, and they've reduced like the the speed when like an enemy hits a hero with tranquil boots by an additional like 5 movement speed, which I'm okay with, to be honest. All right. Okay, Kaya no longer provides plus 12% mana loss reduction. Now provides plus 24% mana regen amplification. Okay, I don't quite understand that, but we'll see how that pans out in a game. Same changes to Yasha and Kaya. No longer provides 18% mana loss reduction. Now provides 30% mana regen amplification. Mana loss reduction? I guess that means like mana loss reduction, I'm guessing, is against heroes with like a diffusive blade, right? Like where you they can reduce your mana with those kind of items, and like against like anti-mage and stuff. But I never knew this was a thing, but okay. Similar changes to Kaya and Sage. No longer provides 18% mana loss reduction, now provides 30% mana regen amplification. Bloodstone no longer provides 12% mana loss reduction. Makes sense. Spell amp increased from 14% to 16% on Yasha and Kaya. Spell amp increased from 14 to 16% on Kaya and Sage as well. Right. Sage no longer provides spell lifesteal amplification. Same for its upgrades. Got it. Oh, what? What? Kaya now provides 24% spell lifesteal amp. Oh my fucking god. Dude, that is insane. This is really good on Intel heroes that constantly like nuke, like Zeus. Who else? I mean, Zeus is the only like hero that I can think of, because I usually go Kaya on Zeus. So fuck, that is so cool. Okay. Yasha, I do think like even though like all of like Yasha and Kaya and Sage are like pretty good items, like they were definitely like very underutilized in the previous patches. So I see why they're making these changes, because they definitely want to make people like more interested in like buying them and using them. So much needed changes, I would say, actually. Kaya and Sage now provide 30% spell amp lifesteal. Same for Yasha and Kaya. Bloodstone also is obviously affected by this change, since Kaya is a major component of finishing that item. Soul Booster now provides 10% magic resistance. Oh, interesting. I don't mind this change, to be honest. Soul Booster is like, although it provides you that plus 425 health and mana, it's a pretty useless item. Like otherwise, so it definitely like incentivizes people to buy a Soul Booster, like on its own as an item. So that's cool. So Bloodstone obviously also gets affected by that, and also gains like a 10% magic resistance. Same with Octarine Core, because you need Soul Booster to complete both of these items. Bloodstone cooldown reduced from, oh my god, dude, this is such a good change. This is such a good change. I feel like Bloodstone is definitely like one of the strongest items now in this patch. Because like look what it gives you. It gives you 10% magic resistance, 8% spell amp, 100% mana regen amp, and 30% spell lifesteal amplification. And on top of that, you have an active ability that you can use almost every minute and a half, which basically gives you like it's like an instant like regen kind of thing, right? Because it converts 30% of your max mana to health regen over 2 seconds. That's really good. Fuck. Alright. New item, Voodoo Mask. Grants 12% lifesteal. Spell lifesteal, sorry. 2.5% against creeps and costs 900 gold. Okay. Interesting. So I guess the reason that why they've reduced the lifesteal to 2.5% against creeps is because it's like it would be really easy for heroes like Zeus, I'm guessing, to like farm jungle. So that makes sense. Upgrade Core now requires Soul Booster, Voodoo Mask, and 900 recipe cost. Okay. Soul Booster, Voodoo Mask, and 900 recipe cost. Total cost reduced from 5,900 to 5,000. Holy shit. No longer provides bonus intelligence, which I don't think is a big deal anyways. Because you don't really get the Octarine core for the bonus intelligence. You get it to like reduce your cooldowns and for the spell lifesteal. So that's cool. I'm a big fan of this. I think the items that I'm gonna use the most in this patch is probably Bloodstone and Octarine core. They're just really good items right now. And obviously like a Yasha and Kaya, and maybe a Kaya and Sage as well, depending on the hero and like the situation. And Silver Edge on carries is gonna be fucking insane now. It's fucking insane. I can definitely see getting Blade Mail on more tanks now. It just makes a lot more sense. What else? Okay. Moving on a little bit. Blah 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 blah. We've done this. Whale of Discord attributes reduced from 9 to 4. That's unfortunate. Recipe cost reduced from 1150 to 650. Cooldown increased from 20 to 25. Spell amp reduced from 20% to 18%. I see. I think the overall cost is reduced, right? Because the only like the Sage's Mask has become cheaper, right? And Crown remains the same, and they've reduced the cost of the recipe, so that means the overall cost of the entire item should have reduced, but I'm not sure. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I never really got Whale of Discord just for the attribute gain. I mostly just got it for the spell amp. So that makes sense that they reduced like the attribute gain. Holy Locket can now target allied. Oh my god, this is so good. Holy shit. Holy Locket can now target allied units with the magic stick active. Cast range is 500. This is really good, man. I usually only I don't really get Holy Locket that much, and a lot of people have been like shitting on Holy Locket because it's not a very a useful upgrade to the magic stick. But now you'll definitely see a lot more support healers getting a Holy Locket. I mostly used to get it on Necro, since it does like amplify your heal and the stick heal as well. but I'm glad that they've made this change. It's very cool. Okay. Alright, now changes to Soul Ring. Soul Ring now requires 2 gauntlets, Ring of Protection, and a 350 gold recipe. Total cost remains the same. Now provides 6 strength and 2 armor. No longer provides 2.25 HP regen. I think that's reasonable. This item can very easily be abused on heroes like Dragon Knight. Although you can still abuse it on Dragon Knight, it just makes it a lot less broken. And other heroes with very high HP regen. Interesting. Hyperstone attack speed bonus increased from 55 to 60. I am a big fan of this change. Assault Cuirass attack speed aura bonus increased from 25 to 30. So since they've reduced the aura that you get on Necrobooks and the aura that you get on Helm of Dawn, they had to make some sort of buff on other like aura items. So it makes sense. No longer provides +5 all stats. Yeah, that makes sense. Like no one really got the assault for +5 stats in any ways. Bloodthorn attack speed increased from 85 to 90. Okay. Dude, they keep changing the fucking recipe for Battle Fury. It's fucking annoying. Now requires Claymore instead of Mithril Hammer. Bro, just fucking like keep it the same recipe, right? Like why do you have to keep changing it? Damage reduced from 60 to 55. Mana regen reduced from 3.75 to 3.25. Yeah, I mean, I think the reason they've made the damage reduction and mana regen reduction is because it's quite broken on some carry heroes. Like lately, like in the pro scene at least, like there's been a lot of Ursa Battle Furies and a lot of like troll Battle Furies. So it makes sense. I do feel like it's still a very good farming item. I guess they're just trying to like not make it as effective as it used to be in like team fights and stuff. Although you know a 5 damage reduction is not that much in any ways, but that's cool. Broadsword damage reduced from 16 to 15. Okay. Crystallis damage reduced from 34 to 32. That's fine. Because the passive is still like pretty good, I would say. Recipe cost reduced from 700 to 500. Okay, that's cool. Cloak cost reduced from 550 to 450. I'm a big fan of this. Recipe cost increased from 200 to 300. What I like about this change is I think this will incentivize carries and even mostly like strength tank heroes obviously to get a cloak very early on in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if people start getting it in like the second or the third creep wave, you know, because it only costs like 450 gold now. And let's say, for example, you know for a fact that you are facing heroes with a lot of like burst magic damage in your lane. Even from level 1, like it would make a lot of sense for you to even rush a cloak as your first item, because it just reduces like their magic damage by 15%, right? And that's pretty huge, I would say. it makes a lot more sense for you to be spending more gold on an item like this than constantly like buying regen items like tangos and cells. Not that you wouldn't require it, but it's just more cost effective for you to be able to like try to rush an item like this and still like be be able to get like tangos like on the side. Code of Defiance recipe cost increased from 200 to 300 because they reduced the cost of the cloak, so they had to increase this cost. Makes sense. Satanic now has a 500 gold recipe. Okay. So that means the overall cost of a Satanic has increased by 500. Satanic is a pretty good item. It gives you a decent, like 30% damage, status resistance, and the passive lifesteal is really good as well. And the active is just fucking insane. Like played on the right hero, like in the right like circumstance, it's a really good item. I'm not surprised by this change, to be honest. Meteor Hammer cooldown reduced from 28 to 24. Cool, I like that change. It's a really good item. I definitely like haven't seen as many people use it as much as I would expect it to be used. Stun duration reduced from 2 to 1.75, so less abusable on stun combinations, which is good. Recipe now is now a Perseverance, Crown, and 250 gold recipe. Okay. I actually like this. I really like this, to be honest. So I think it was what were the items before? I think it was like a Ring of Regen, Sage's Mask, and I want to say I think it was an Ogre Axe, a Staff of Wizardry, and then I think maybe a recipe as well. I'm not sure. Although the Ogre Mask and the Staff like doesn't really do anything for you, right? Because it's very like hero dependent. Like I don't see why, because the thing with like these recipes, right? Like when you like in the previous patch at least, like because it was an Ogre Axe and it was a Staff of Wizardry, like you kind of restrict it to heroes that either have are strength heroes or either like intel heroes, but it would never incentivize agility heroes to get it because it doesn't give like any sort of stat to the agility hero, right? So it's good that they've made this change, to be honest. So now it provides 8 plus all stats, 6.5 health regen, and 2.5 mana regen. Very cool. Spirit Vessel no longer has a heal reduction aura. I think that makes a lot of sense. That was pretty broken, to be honest, especially on heroes like Necros. You use that against what's it called? You use that against Morphling in a lane, like it's fucking impossible for that Morphling to even like stay in that lane. Soul Release regen increased from 30 to 40. Soul Release DPS increased from 25 to 35. Enemy HP regen reduction increased from minus 35% to minus 45%. So they have like they've still like buffed the active, I want to say. So that's cool. So let's say you cast it on an enemy. When used against enemies, it reduces health by 4% of current health per second and reduces HP regen, healing, and lifesteal and spell lifesteal by 45%. Deals 35 damage per second as opposed to 25 previously. When used on allies, it provides 40 health regen per second as opposed to okay. Cool, cool. I don't mind these changes, to be honest. They're pretty good. Shiva's Guard freezing aura now applies a 25% health reduction in the area. What? Holy shit. What? Recipe cost increase from 650 to 750. Freezing aura now applies at 20. Okay, heal reduction. Okay, I thought it was like HP reduction. Fuck. Huh. That's cool. I actually don't mind that change. To be honest, like Shiva's Guard, like before in the previous patches, again, like many other items are obviously like very situational. But the only like time you would get it is on a Phoenix, for example, or against heroes that have like really high attack speed. But even then, like it doesn't justify like costing almost like 5,000 gold, right? So I'm kind of glad that they also added an additional like ability to it, like being able to reduce the enemy's like heal by 25% in an area is like it's fucking awesome. So it's a 900 radius where you can do that. Oh wait, no. Wait, what? Oh, it's on the passive. Oh my god, holy shit. This is a really good item now, to be very honest. It's a very good item. Okay, so Dagon recipe now, belt of strength, band of elven skin, robe of magi, and a 1300 recipe. That's cool. Yes, I mean basically like what I was saying earlier, right? Like a lot of these items were previously like incentivized for certain types of heroes, like certain attribute heroes. So Dagon previously, as far as I remember, like mostly provided intelligence as its main attribute. So it's very normal for you to see it being picked up on intel heroes like Tinker or Pugna, for example. But now it incentivizes like all types of heroes with all types of attributes. So now it provides 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 all stats as you upgrade the recipe. Heart of Tarask no longer provides 10 health regen nor heal / regen amp. Now passively provides 1% health regen. That's still a decent amount, I think, right? While out of combat provides 50% health regen amp. Strength reduced from 45 to 40. Recipe cost increased from 400 to 650. I see. That's still a decent amount. Wait, I want to see. So let's say on a hero with 4,000 HP, right? 4,000 into 1%. So let's say a hero has like 4,000 HP with a heart. He or she would now get 40 HP regen per second passively, which I think is actually a really good change to the item. Although it seems like it's been nerfed, it's actually not. It's making it a lot more balanced now. And it still provides that 50% health regen amp outside of battles. I mean, I think it's been changed, but I don't know exactly what the case was before. Cool. Recipe cost increased from 400 to 650. I see. Skadi health reduction increased from 35. Holy shit, they're buffing the Skadi. Holy shit. From 35% to 40%. Wow. Slow from 20/45 to 25/50. Slow enemy ranged units by 50% move speed and 50% attack speed. Slows enemy melee units by 25% movement speed and 25% attack speed. I see. That's wow. That's a huge buff. That's insane. I do feel like they might remove this or like nerf it in the future. Quelling Blade cost reduced from 150 to 130. Melee bonus damage reduced from 18 to 15. Range bonus damage increased from 5 to 6. Okay. Yeah, that's not a big deal. I mean, a three bonus damage on melee heroes is not a big deal, I would say. I actually don't know. It's still a pretty good item. And now it's more effective on ranged heroes as well, so that's actually pretty good. Lincoln's recipe cost reduced from 1200 to 900. Is there a reason for this? I guess not. Because the cost of perseverance is still the same, right? I think. Let me check quickly. I don't think they've made changes to perseverance. No, they haven't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of that, to be honest. I do think like Lincoln Sphere is like a pretty costly item for what it gives you. So this should encourage people to buy it more often, buy it a lot quicker, I would say. So it reduced by 300 gold in total. Cool. Abyssal Blade cast range reduced from 600 to 550. That makes a lot of sense. Heaven's Halberd evasion reduced from 25% to 20%. Okay. I guess it's pretty broken, right? Like with the passive, like in the previous patch, with the passive like 25% evasion, and in addition to that, like having the active where you basically like stop the hero from even attacking at all for 3 seconds on melee heroes and 5 seconds on range. Like I think that's a reasonable change. Dragonlance agility increased from 12 to 14. Cool. Oh, so before it was 12 agility and 12 strength, so now it's more agility favored. Okay. Hand of Midas XP multiplier increased from 185% to 210%. Dude, I love this fucking change. I think Midas is such a good item, but it's been less incentivized like in the previous patches, so I'm happy with this change, to be honest. Oh, refresher orb cooldown reduced by 15 seconds. Nice. Yeah, I mean, like 180 by itself is a pretty long cooldown, right? That's like 3 minutes. So yeah, I mean, reducing it by 15 seconds, I don't think is a big deal. Um, Ultimate org cost reduced from 2,150 to 250. Okay, so that means the cost for a Scuddy should have reduced, right? Oh, so a Scuddy is now 200 gold cheaper, but a lot more effective. Like a lot more effective. Infused raindrops mana regen reduced to by 0.1. That's fine. Nullifier projectile speed increased from 750 to 1,000. Expensive item by itself. So Ag's blessing recipe cost reduced from 1,800 to 1,600. Yeah, I think that's a good change as well. You don't really see people using a blessing like a blessing recipe unless like they have no slots left. Aetherland's recipe cost